Hello, my name is Alfie. Tonight, I have a nice tale for you, a tale that might resonate with many of us, though each in our own way. Perhaps you've felt the need for a fresh beginning, the urge to move to a different state, city, or even a country. If so, this story might just speak to your heart. Before we start, I would like to ask you to like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps my channel grow and motivates me to share more stories with you. Thank you for being here. Now, if you're ready, grab your headphones, find a comfortable place, pour yourself a cup of tea, and relax. Let's begin. The story is called My Precious Found. It's about a woman named Clara who, tired of her lonely life in the bustling city, decides one night to set out in her small boat under a sky freckled with stars. As she drifts further into the endless sea, the twinkling lights of the distant city she left behind fade into the horizon, and a new journey begins. This story is accompanied by gentle piano music and soothing sounds of nature. Even after the story ends, the music and sounds of nature will continue, bringing you peace and relaxation. Under a sky freckled with stars, a woman named Clara found herself adrift on the endless sea. She sat in a small boat, a vessel of wood worn smooth by the passage of time. The gentle lapping of the waves against the hull was a lullaby, a soothing rhythm that spoke of ancient tides and forgotten shores. Clara had always been alone. Her life in the bustling city had been a solitary one, filled with the noise of strangers and the silence of loneliness. She had no family, no friends to call her own. So one day, she decided to leave it all behind. She packed a few belongings, climbed into her small boat, and set sail with no destination in mind, only a heart yearning for peace. As the hours stretched into night, the stars mirrored the twinkling lights of the distant city she had left behind. The sea was calm, a vast expanse of gentle waves that cradled her boat. Clara leaned back, her eyelids growing heavy. The world around her blurred, the stars blending into a soft, shimmering haze. With a sigh, she let herself drift into sleep, the cool sea breeze whispering promises of dreams. Morning came with the soft light of dawn, and Clara awoke to a surprising sight. Her boat had gently grounded on the shore of a small, secluded village. The village was nestled in a cove, surrounded by towering cliffs that seemed to guard it from the outside world. The houses were simple, built of wood and stone, with roofs thatched with reeds. Smoke curled lazily from chimneys, and the air was filled with the scent of the sea and earth. The villagers, curious and kind-hearted, gathered around Clara as she stepped onto the shore. They were a humble people, their faces weathered by the sun and the sea, their eyes filled with warmth and curiosity. One of them, an elderly woman with silver hair and a gentle smile, stepped forward. "Welcome, traveler," she said softly. "I am Marina, the elder of this village. What brings you to our hidden shore?" Clara, feeling a sense of belonging she had never known, told them her story. She spoke of her lonely life in the city, of her journey to find peace, and of the dreams that had carried her across the sea. The villagers listened intently, their expressions softening with empathy. "You are welcome to stay with us, Clara," Marina said after a moment of contemplation. "Our village is far from the world, a place of tranquility. If it is peace you seek, you will find it here." Grateful and overwhelmed, Clara accepted their offer. The villagers helped her settle into a small, cozy cottage at the edge of the village. The days that followed were filled with simple joys. Clara learned to fish in the clear waters, to weave baskets from reeds, and to gather herbs from the forest. The villagers became her family, their laughter and stories weaving a tapestry of belonging around her. Occasionally, Clara needed to return to the city to gather a few personal belongings or to take care of old affairs. The villagers had a tradition of traveling by boat only at night, to keep their sanctuary hidden from the world. So, under the cover of darkness, they would sail quietly to the distant city. Clara would gather what she needed, lock her house, and return to the village before dawn. Years passed, and Clara's life became a gentle, flowing rhythm. The village, with its serene beauty and kind-hearted people, became her home. She rarely thought of the city anymore, only venturing back when absolutely necessary. Each time she returned, she felt a deeper sense of gratitude for the life she had found. One night, as she stood on the shore, watching the moonlight dance on the waves, Clara felt a profound peace settle over her. She knew she had found her place in the world, a hidden haven where she was no longer alone. The sea, the stars, and the village had given her a new beginning, a life of quiet contentment and gentle joy. As time went on, Clara began to see the beauty in the simplicity of her new life. She found joy in the small, everyday tasks that filled her days. She woke with the sun, her heart light and her mind clear. The quiet mornings were her favorite, the air crisp and filled with the songs of birds. She would take long walks along the shore, feeling the cool sand beneath her feet, the gentle waves lapping at her ankles. Clara marveled at how much peace and contentment she found in the little things. She had never realized how beautiful life could be when it was stripped down to its essence, free from the noise and clutter of the city. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of the sea and the land. They took only what they needed, their hearts full of gratitude for the abundance around them. One evening, as Clara sat by the fire with Marina and a few other villagers, she shared her thoughts. "I never imagined life could be so full," she said, her voice soft with wonder. "There is such beauty in living with so little. It makes you appreciate everything so much more." Marina smiled, her eyes twinkling in the firelight. "We have always believed that true wealth is found in the heart, not in possessions. The more we let go, the more we are able to hold on to what truly matters." Clara nodded, feeling a deep sense of agreement. She had come to understand this truth in a way she never could have in the city. And so, she made a decision. She would sell her house in the city, severing the last ties to her old life. She would bring to the village only those things that held deep sentimental value, items that carried memories and meaning. Over the next few weeks, Clara began to make the necessary arrangements. The villagers supported her wholeheartedly, offering their help and companionship. They planned their trips to the city carefully, traveling under the cover of night to keep their hidden village a secret. The water. The moon cast a silver path across the waves, guiding them home. Back in the village, Clara settled into her new life with even greater enthusiasm. She found joy in teaching the children to read and write, sharing with them the stories and knowledge she had gathered over the years. The children were eager learners, their eyes wide with wonder as she read to them from her books. Clara also became an integral part of the village's daily life. She helped the women cook, learning their traditional recipes and adding her own touches. She worked in the gardens, planting seeds and tending to the plants with care. She found a deep satisfaction in the physical labor, her hands in the earth, the sun on her back. The villagers welcomed her contributions, grateful for her presence and her willingness to share her skills. They taught her their ways, and she, in turn, shared her own knowledge and experiences. It was a beautiful exchange, a blending of lives and cultures that enriched everyone involved. One day, as Clara stood in the garden, watering the plants, she paused to take in the scene around her. The village was alive with activity, the air filled with laughter and the sounds of work. She felt a profound sense of contentment, a fullness she had never known before. Her heart swelled with gratitude for the life she had found, for the people who had welcomed her with open arms. She realized that she had never felt so connected, so alive. The village, with its simplicity and its deep sense of community, had given her a new perspective on life. She no longer longed for the city or the life she had left behind. She was exactly where she was meant to be, living a life that was rich in love and meaning. Years passed, and Clara's life in the village continued to flourish. She became a beloved member of the community, her kindness and wisdom touching everyone she met. She watched the children grow, their minds and hearts expanding with each new lesson. She shared in the joys and sorrows of her neighbors, her life intertwined with theirs in a tapestry of shared experiences. Clara often thought back to the night she had drifted to the village, a solitary figure in a small boat on the vast sea. It had felt like the end of something, but it had been the beginning of a new and beautiful chapter. She had found her place in the world, a hidden haven where she was no longer alone. The sea, the stars, and the village had given her a new beginning, a life of quiet contentment and gentle joy. As the years went by, Clara never ceased to marvel at the beauty of her life. She had learned that true happiness was found not in the accumulation of things, but in the connections we make and the love we share. She had found her true wealth in the hearts of the villagers, in the simplicity of their lives, and in the peace that came from living in harmony with the world around her. And so, Clara's days flowed like the tide, a tranquil journey through a world of dreams and serenity. She had found her home, and in that hidden village by the sea, she lived a life of peace and quiet happiness, surrounded by the warmth of her newfound family.